It is rare to see somebody at the absolute peak of their profession, right? It is equally rare to see a relatable professional athlete. Okay, it is. How many times do you look at a professional athlete? How many times do you look at Ben White and you're like, I could be that tan? Don't lie to yourself. You could never be that tan, right? But every once in a blue moon, in every man is blessed with unbelievable talent, gets unbelievably lucky, and works incredibly hard, and is elevated to the status of being fucking awesome. And that is exactly what happened to Jamie Vardy. And when I'm talking about being at the peak of his skill set, Jamie Vardy is not afraid to talk shit. And we have talked on this channel about Neil Maupay, right? Neil Maupay, however you want to say it. Everybody says I say it wrong no matter how I say it, so Neil. French dude. We've talked on this channel about how he's able to get under players' skin and how he's an excellent shithouse. But the OG, the one that doesn't even need social media to do it, because social media will amplify him, like social media will do it for him, right? He doesn't even need to do it himself. That's Jamie Vardy. Okay, and he is, even though he's at 37 and not at physical peak form anymore, his shithousery is at its absolute apex. I mean, he has not lost a single step. And if you missed it, I'll give you the brief recap. Now, this is Vardy in a match against Tottenham in which he has already scored the equalizing goal. It is 1-1. It is the 79th minute. And Jamie Vardy is somebody that seems to thrive off of the energy of the enemy fans. In the same way that a Dementor in Harry Potter seems to thrive off happy memories, Jamie Vardy walks by the away end or the big wall of ultras and just absorbs their energy through his face in the same way that whatever those things are, they manage to do. But he's being subbed off because, again, he is 37 years old, playing in the Prem, scoring in the Premier League, and then he does this. Now, in case you didn't pick up on what was going on there, he points to the Premier League badge, puts his finger in the sky, says, I have one of those, and then points at the Tottenham fans and makes a 0, saying basically, you have 0 Premier League titles. Damn. Zam. Holy shit. That is so good. That's incredible. I don't know what the Tottenham fans were saying to him. Honestly, I feel like if it's Jamie Vardy, they don't even need to be saying anything to him. Jamie Vardy's like Michael Jordan in the sense that he can create enemies out of thin air, right? Like if you ever watched The Last Dance, there's this whole story of Michael Jordan making up somebody talking shit to him. He might not have even been pointing at Tottenham fans. He might have been pointing at a janitor. Anything to just get him fired up. Anything to just make him feel like he's gotten one over on the other team. Jamie Vardy scores goals for 2 reasons. Because he loves Leicester and he hates everybody he's playing against. That's why he scores goals. And when he manages to score, he will tell you to shut up. And he will do it in creative and excellent shit-talking ways. But he can't. He can never let go of his English roots. If you watch this closely here at the end, he gives you what I would describe as an outsider, as a connoisseur of English culture, as somebody that works with English people all day, every day. He gives you a quintessential British lad, fuck with me, nod. One of those. People in the US don't do that. I've never seen anybody else in any other country do that. And it is just that callback. It's that little thing that lets you know that Jamie Vardy is not Ben White. Now that I have an issue with Ben White, right? Fine, he's beautiful people, right? You know what I mean? He's a professional athlete with tens of millions of dollars in caps for England and fucking great for him, right? But Jamie Vardy moves and acts and carries himself like that one dick in your Sunday league game that's just better than everybody else, and you have no idea how to deal with it, and the only way you can come back at him is be like, well, hey, like, you're not a pro player, man. Stop acting like you're the shit. The problem is Jamie Vardy is a pro player and is, in fact, a legend, right? Jamie Vardy, don't get it twisted. Jamie Vardy is a Premier League legend. We're looking at somebody with over 100 career Premier League goals, and he scored his first one when he was 27 years old. We're talking about somebody that was playing for Fleetwood Town in his mid-20s that ended up making 26 appearances for the English national team. There is, in short, nobody in modern English league history that has managed to do anything close to what Jamie Vardy has managed to do since he got to Leicester or in his entire career before that. I mean, you pull up his Wikipedia. Stocksbridge Park Steels, he was there until 2010. In 2010, he was 23 years old, and he was playing for the Stocksbridge Park Steels. He was on Fleetwood Town at the age of 25. Right? That's supposed to be the peak of your career for most people. Then he moves to Leicester. Are you kidding me with that career trajectory? I know people have been over it before. But when you are watching and interacting with lower league English players, this is their dream. They all believe this is possible. And for one shit-talking madman, that was right. That was correct. His belief that he could actually do this and play against Manchester United and play at a World Cup and everything else, at striker no less. We're not talking about goalkeeper or center back where you can be like more of a late bloomer. We're talking about the most important position on the field, the guy that puts the ball in the back of the net. That guy at 25 was at Fleetwood Town and believed that he actually managed to make it. And at 37 years old, he just scored in the Prem and just like ruined the entirety of Tottenham. What a gift. What a gift this man is. That wasn't even the only thing. Here's a video of him drinking a Red Bull before he goes out for the second half. That's a Red Bull. He's drinking a Red Bull. A Red Bull. You ever had one of those? It's like jet fuel, right? You got flames coming out of your ass when you drink those. I had 4 vodka Red Bulls at the Red Bull party in European TwitchCon. I had flames coming out of my ass for a week. I didn't even have to book a flight home. I just launched myself back across the Atlantic with the amount of flames. Right? It gives you wings, no lie. If you were drinking this in front of Pep Guardiola before going out for the second half, he'd slap it out of your hand and put you in jail. If you were drinking this in front of an Italian manager, those guys that like to control diets or whatever, they might just shoot you on sight. Jamie Vardy, as a 37-year-old, right? Think about the other 37-year-olds that do this sort of stuff, like Sergio Ramos, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? These types of guys that like sleep in cryogenic chambers and chisel their abs on every morning with a 5-hour warm-up workout, right? Like that's how you're able to play at a world-class level when you're 37. Not this. This should be impossible. This doesn't make scientific sense. Is he Superman in disguise? Is he one of those people that, you know, in the scene in The Incredibles when Dash or whatever his name is, the really fast kid, is in a track race and he has super speed, but they don't want people to know that. So the family's like telling him to speed up and slow down so that he ends up finishing second and it's kind of inconspicuous. Maybe Jamie Vardy's just doing that. Maybe he's some sort of superhuman freak and he just hides it. You know, he's just out there having fun and he doesn't really care. He's just trying to go a speed where he can have a good life and have a good time and nobody will notice. Because how the hell can you drink a Red Bull and then go out and score in the Premier League? It does not make any sense. And to top it all off, all from the exact same game, here's another video of Jamie Vardy talking to Christian Romero. A little, I mean, it's pretty obvious what he said there. And I'm aware that on a professional pitch, there are probably 50 times that somebody tells somebody else to fuck off. But while you're leaving the field to be getting the last word in, not just with the Tottenham fans, but with the center back, Christian Romero, with a center back that is violence and insanity combined, right? Like, and he's just telling him to fuck off. Jamie Vardy is the best version of a footballer, of an average English bloke. Possible, ever. There has never been somebody that has looked like this, that has walked like this, that has talked like this, that's played in the Premier League. Not in a while, right? Not since the money took over the Premier League. You get your Phil Fodens, maybe even your Wayne Rooney's. He's like a salt-of-the-earth type of guy, right? But Jamie Vardy is that guy that's at the bar that you always kind of want to beat up, but he also feels like your friend sometimes. He's the life of the party. He is the absolutely diabolically annoying star striker on the team you always lose to in Sunday League, except he's a Premier League player. And he is also, for me, appointment television. Because how could you not enjoy watching a 37-year-old go up against a bunch of 14 hours of workout a day freaks on the other side and beat them? Fueled by Red Bull. How does that make any sense? I don't even know. I just knew I had to turn the camera on and talk about this because I'm trying to process the fact that Jamie Vardy is still playing and still doing this. And, you know, he's still on the top of his game in the trash talk department. And that's what matters.